What's up, everybody? This is Liz11 with Ethereal Energy and Healing Arts, and I wanted to jump on here today to talk about the full moon coming up. This has been rather an intense full moon. I've been feeling it the last couple days, and I'm sure you have been too. And I just wanted to talk about moon cycles and how the moon affects us. So, this full moon is the buck full moon, and it's going to be the biggest full moon of the year. Now, there's 13 full moons in the year, but we only have a 12-month calendar. Technically, we're on the wrong calendar and we should be on a 13-month calendar, the galactic calendar. So, the moon affects females and it's a feminine energy, whereas the sun is a masculine energy. So the moon, when say the ocean by where I live, the high tide comes in at the moon when the moon's full because of the gravitational pull, and the high tide has, effects on our emotions. The moon has effects on our emotions. Um, so it's really important to remember that when we're coming up to a full moon, and to know that during full moons, that's why you kind of hear like more people get arrested. Your emotions might be feeling really crazy. You might feel really ungrounded, or the full moon has a lot to do with like menstrual cycles. And when I go back to like the 13-month calendar, which is the way it should be, instead of the 12-month, there would be 13 full moons. A woman's menstrual cycle is 28 days, so each month would have 28 days, which makes more sense. But in, the 12-month Gregorian calendar, we have two full moons in one of the months. So the full moon is all about energy. And then I also wanted to bring up, in ancient times, everybody's went by the full moon cycle when to plant crops. And it's also, a release. So everything that you've been working towards basically on a new moon, you want to manifest. You want to put in your intentions for the next cycle. So on the full moon, everything comes to fruition, and you get a huge release, which also comes with a lot of emotions, because right now on this full moon, we're in the month of Cancer, which is the most emotional sign in the zodiac. So emotions are already high anyways. And the full moon's going to be in Capricorn, which is one of the most grounding signs. It's very practical. So you kind of have a lot of opposition there. You have a need to be grounding and practical and follow through with things. But on the other hand, you also have this desire to be very emotional, maybe overthink things a little bit too much. So some tips for the full moon is, for me, I tend to not go out during the full moon. I have played like some parties and have done some events, but in general, this is a really big full moon. It's the biggest full moon of the year. It's very intense right now. So I tend to say to stay home. And if you're like me and you have lots of crystals, this is a perfect time to even start putting them out tonight, because the moon's so full right now. I mean, last night I saw it outside my window and it looked full. So just start getting that full moon energy. Charge anything up. I mean, it could be literally any kind of object that's important to you. You can put out there. It doesn't even have to be a crystal, but some good crystals to work with on the full moon: moonstone, just even a clear quartz, just, holding the quartz. And I have a Lemurian quartz here. This is a twin Lemurian quartz, and just holding it and, putting your intentions in it. Maybe close your eyes, kind of set the intention for the crystal, for what you want to happen. I personally like to set my crystals outside to actually get the moonlight. Depending on how your place is, if you have a lot of windows, you could just leave your windows open, but it's best to put everything outside. I'm gonna actually have these really super huge amethyst cathedrals that are like twin cathedrals. I call them like my 11 cathedrals, and they're super sevens. They have 7 different crystals in there. And I'm going to drag those bad boys outside. I'm going to put them on my deck actually tonight and start getting that charge on them. So definitely charge up your stuff. keep yourself in check about your intuition, because your emotions are very, very high right now. When it's at the peak of full moon, this means the full moon is the closest to Earth. We can see it. It's the brightest it's going to be. You can get the most out of it, and there's a huge release coming. So things that you've been working on, those things are going to start manifesting. You might feel a lot of synchronization, a lot of things coming together, and that's part of the full moon. And like I said, yeah, the new moon, you do put in your intentions and manifest, but you can also manifest on a full moon as well, because the intuition and that psychic energy is really open on full moons. And it's a good time to be clear-headed and be thinking about what you want and what you want to manifest, or things like that. I also want to mention that since it's in Capricorn is going to probably be the most affected by the full moon besides Cancer. So whatever sign is in the full moon, if that's your sign, you're going to be the most affected by the full moon, more than, say, I'm a Taurus. So the full moon's not exactly going to affect me as much as, say, if I was a Capricorn. And then also as well as Cancer. So anytime the moon's full when you're in your, astrological sign, it also tends to affect you the most. The same with like Mercury retrograde. I find that if Mercury retrograde's close to like my birthday, that Mercury retrograde is so much more intense for me than, say, if it was in November when, my birthday is in April. So that's something to keep in mind too. And just with it being so full and big, it's just, yeah, it's really intense out there. And last night I was feeling a lot of emotions, a lot of downloads, a lot of information coming through. So I just wanted to share that with you and just let you know you're not crazy, you're not alone. There is a lot of energy going on right now. And I see that all the time in my readings with my clients too. I mean, it's also just crazy times, but my advice for this full moon, stay in, stay grounded, get out your crystals. I have some Labradorite right here. This is a good one for intuition. It's kind of got some nice shine to it if you're looking to kind of connect with those psychic abilities, because the truth is we all have psychic abilities. It's just a matter of tapping into that. So we're all intuitive. We all have that, gut feeling inside of us. So it's a perfect time to try to connect, try to close your eyes, try to go into a meditation, and try to just feel, because, during this full moon, you're going to feel more than ever. And you can start that tonight, even though tonight isn't the official full moon. It's actually tomorrow Eastern time at 2:37 in the afternoon, which, the sun's going to be out. But yeah, so definitely keep that in mind. And one thing I also want to bring up is that, so the moon's connected to water, and then the ocean right now is at high tide tonight, and we're mostly made of water. So it makes sense that we would be very emotional if we're connected to the moon, and the moon is based on water, that our emotions would be going crazy, and they are. So if you're feeling over emotional and you just don't know why, that's probably why. And we want to say that this astrological stuff doesn't have an effect on us, but it's also science, right? Because the moon has a gravitational pull. It's pulling the ocean, which is causing these emotions and causing things to stir up more inside of us. So, there's a lot of mysticism around the full moon, and that's why, because it just heightens our intuition, it heightens our emotions. But I also feel that it's also a good time to manifest and really think about what you want. And also look back and say, what did I ask for in the last new moon? What came to fruition? So yeah, that's just a few tips. I just wanted to come on and just kind of share my views about what I was feeling about the full moon. Because last night it was really intense for me, and I was talking to my husband, and we're just like, oh yeah, it's a full moon. That's why we're kind of feeling this way. A lot of emotional things coming up and things from the past, and just kind of reflecting on, where we are and where we're going, and, why I'm feeling these certain things. And yeah, lo and behold, it's the full moon. So I hope everybody has a good full moon. My advice, stay inside, do some meditation, charge your rocks, just be in tune with yourself. It's a good time to pick up a lot of psychic abilities. And the best way to do that, to learn to be psychic and to get more in touch or even connect with a loved one that's crossed over, is to just, silence the mind and just let things come through. A lot of times we try too hard to be psychic. And if you just let go and you just, quiet your mind, close your eyes, maybe find a good meditation. It doesn't have to be meditation. Try to find some silent space. Like, you can connect with these things just as much as anybody else. Everyone is psychic. Everyone has this intuition. I read something cool, like it was just like a meme about like spiritual chills. I posted it on my page on Facebook, and I totally feel that, like, every time something's true, or I have like one of these like, crossover moments where I'm talking to somebody from the other side, or there's like a psychic message that comes through, I get like that chill feeling. And like, I really feel like that's how you know it's true, is when you get that chill feeling, it's definitely true. So yeah, that's just a word of advice. I am taking readings. My clients are coming in more and more. I do readings for people who have crossed over, who want to talk to somebody from the other side. I can also teach you tips on how to do that yourself. I do consultations on like chakra balancing and just in general energy work, manifestation. I'm doing a lot of tarot card readings. So yeah, if you want a reading, I'll put the information below. You can always contact me on Facebook. It's at Ethereal Energy and Healing Arts. I go by Liz11. I'm getting my website up and running pretty soon here, so you can schedule with me online. So the information will be below if you're interested in talking to me and having a reading. And I know a lot of you know me, but I do stuff with, talk about ghosts, alien abduction, anything you need help with. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome full buck moon and stay really grounded, and don't let your emotions get the best of you, and just realize that's all part of the cycles and it's all natural. And have an awesome day and full moon, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.